Apollo 11, Neil Armstrong's historic journey to the moon. Introduction. On July 20, 1969, the world watched in awe as Neil Armstrong became the first man to set foot on the moon. The Apollo 11 mission was not only a triumph of technology, but also a symbol of human courage, determination, and the desire to explore the unknown. In this video, we take you through the incredible story of Apollo 11, from the dream of reaching the moon to Armstrong's legendary "one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." The space race begins. The journey to the moon began with the fierce competition between the United States and the Soviet Union, known as the space race. After the Soviets launched Sputnik in 1957 and sent Yuri Gagarin into orbit in 1961, the United States was determined to catch up. President John F. Kennedy set a bold goal: to land a man on the moon and return him safely to Earth before the end of the decade. Preparing for Apollo. NASA's Apollo program was born out of this challenge. Years of research, testing, and tragedy, including the loss of the Apollo 1 crew, paved the way for Apollo 11. The mission's crew was carefully chosen. Neil Armstrong, a skilled test pilot and engineer, would command the mission. Buzz Aldrin, an expert in orbital mechanics, would serve as lunar module pilot. Michael Collins, a talented pilot, would remain in orbit around the moon in the command module.
The launch. On July 16, 1969, Apollo 11 launched from Kennedy Space Center atop the massive Saturn V rocket. Millions watched as the rocket thundered into the sky, carrying the hopes of a nation and the dreams of humanity. The journey to the moon took 3 days, with the crew performing critical maneuvers and checks along the way.
Entering lunar orbit. After traveling nearly 240,000 miles, Apollo 11 entered lunar orbit. Armstrong and Aldrin transferred into the lunar module, named Eagle, while Collins remained in the command module, Columbia. On July 20, Eagle separated and began its descent to the moon's surface. The landing was tense, with alarms sounding and fuel running low. But Armstrong's calm skill brought Eagle safely to rest in the Sea of Tranquility. The first steps. At 10:56 p.m. Eastern Time, Neil Armstrong descended the ladder and set foot on the moon, uttering the immortal words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Buzz Aldrin soon joined him, describing the lunar surface as magnificent desolation. The astronauts spent over 2 hours exploring, collecting samples, and conducting experiments, while millions watched live on television.
The first steps. At 10:56 p.m. Eastern Time, Neil Armstrong descended the ladder and set foot on the moon, uttering the immortal words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." Buzz Aldrin soon joined him, describing the lunar surface as magnificent desolation. The astronauts spent over 2 hours exploring, collecting samples, and conducting experiments, while millions watched live on television.
The return journey. After planting the American flag and leaving behind a plaque that read, "We came in peace for all mankind," Armstrong and Aldrin returned to Eagle and blasted off to rejoin Collins in orbit. The crew then began the long journey home, splashing down safely in the Pacific Ocean. On July 24, 1969, the world celebrated their achievement, and the Apollo 11 crew became instant heroes.
Legacy of Apollo. Apollo 11 was more than a technological triumph. It was a moment that united humanity and proved that with vision and determination, anything is possible. The mission inspired generations of scientists, engineers, and dreamers. Neil Armstrong's first step on the moon remains one of the most iconic moments in history, a testament to human ingenuity and the spirit of exploration. The story of Apollo 11 and Neil Armstrong's journey to the moon continues to inspire us today. As we look to the future of space exploration, we remember the courage, teamwork, and innovation that made the impossible possible. The legacy of Apollo 11 lives on, reminding us that the sky is not the limit. It's just the beginning. Thank you for joining us on this journey through one of humanity's greatest adventures. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring stories.
from the history of space exploration.